unlock the secrets of the unseen? Welcome to EVP Explorations, the show that takes you beyond the veil and into the world of the unknown. Hosted by Todd, a seasoned investigator and specialist in electronic voice phenomena, this is your guide to uncovering the voices of the dead. Whether you're a seasoned paranormal investigator or just beginning your journey, EVP Explorations brings you the tools, tips, and techniques you need to capture the whispers of the afterlife. From proper recording methods to incredible real-life experiences, this show is your gateway to mastering the art of EVP. Join us live every Friday at 8 p.m. Central on the Sacred Spiral Network as we explore the mysteries of the paranormal and teach you how to connect with the other side. This is EVP Explorations with Todd Bates. Tune in, listen close, and dare to discover what lies beyond.
And a good evening, everybody. How's everybody on this awesome Friday? Holy cow, it is January 17th already. Where'd the new year go? Holy cow. This is crazy. But anyway, we had some cancellations tonight. Miss Nicole, keep her in your prayers, folks. She's got tonsillitis. Everything's okay. She's going to be okay. She just has no voice. Well, you kind of need a voice to do the show. So she didn't have a voice. So we're going to get her rescheduled. Mark's going to get her rescheduled, and we'll get her on here as soon as possible. But I've got an open discussion night planned here. I mean, I apologize, folks. I didn't have time to throw a lot of things together here for you tonight. I do have a list of some topics to cover. My goodness, I've got some EVP queued up to play. We're just going to have a good time. So welcome everybody to EVP Explorations. And, just some quick updates out there. There's a lot of chatter going on about the EVP world now, and I'm digging it. People are waking up. Things are going great. They're going great out there in the community. There's a lot of chatter about it. There's a lot of chatter in the ITC world as well. Staticom 3.0 coming out. Talk with Tony Rathman. We're going to be having him on the show here coming up soon. We're going to get him scheduled to talk about Staticom 3.0. Him, Ron Iacovetti, and of course Sherry and Lourdes. Can't forget Lourdes. My goodness, what a team that is. And they're making just great strides in the communication world. And that's what it's all about, folks, is communication. EVP, like I said several times before, is just a facet of the ITC world, which is the big umbrella. So there's just a lot of confusion with that, but just hopefully that clarifies things up a little bit for you. But there's so many things that I do want to cover with you tonight. If you guys have a few moments, it'll be worth your while, especially if you guys are new to the research field, if you're new to paranormal investigating, if you know someone who may want to get into this. I have been extremely busy the past few days getting things updated for all you fine folks, for everybody. It's time we share some things with the world, and I've been working a lot on the website, of course, and we're going to cover some of that tonight. And hopefully it doesn't bore you to death, but I'll make it interactive. I'll share the screen, show you a few things, few features I think you guys will really like, especially you folks on the replay. And you guys listening on the podcast side, I'll be explaining that visually the best I can here for you as well, and navigating that way. So just understand that, folks, you guys watching, I got to explain some audio on the audio side, which we're a part of, and I'll get into that here in just a moment after the website. But there's been several updates to the website, and like I said, we're going to screen share here in a minute. But if you want to get a head start, just head over to evpexplorations.com. If you guys want to get a head start there, I'll put the site up here for you. You can head over there, and there's study guides. There's a forum now. There's all kinds of cool features. I added a dark mode to it as well. A lot of you folks were going down reading the blogs and so forth, and I guess the white was just too white and it was sticking. So I was getting some emails about that from you folks, and thank you so much for the feedback, by the way. The great feedback, my goodness. So what I did is I installed a dark mode for you. There's a little moon, and you click that, and it turns it into dark photo. I also have it set automatically to detect when you guys do go there, whether you're on your mobile, your desktop, laptop, wherever, it will detect what mode your system is in. So if your system is in light mode, it will stay in light mode. If your system is in dark, it will switch to dark automatically. And you may see a few glitches there. I'm trying to catch them all. As far as the dark mode's concerned, it just comes down to coloring. It's hard to master that stuff, folks. So just understand, I'm aware of those little bugs, and I'm squashing them as we go. But there's so many cool things on the site that I'm going to cover here with you here in a moment. But good evening to you, Mr. John. My goodness, it's so great to have you. So great to have you, my friend. Such a dear friend, John is. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to set up this said screen share window thing. This is going to be interesting. You guys are going to see like an infinity thing here for a minute, but we're going to get that fixed here in a second. Stand by. Now, what we've got here is the website. Now, there's one of the tricks I want to show you. This is in light mode, as you can see, and there's a button down here in the lower right, as you can see right there, and you're just going to simply click it, and boom, it goes right into dark mode, and it's easier on the eyes. It's easier to read. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Now, one thing I added is the EVP guide that's up there. It's installed now. It tells you a little bit about it, of course, its history, and then it goes into the guide where you can download it for free right there as well. So you've got, if you have anybody in your family, anybody you know that is interested in electronic voice phenomena, wants to get started with either a digital recorder or a cassette recorder, this guide will show you step by step how to get started, what to do, the history behind it. There's so much in the guide. And this was revised from a 2004 guide that I'd written many, many years ago. So it's been revised to fit modern technology and things like that for you as well, folks. Now, what I did include, I had a lot of emails. People wanted some EVP. They wanted to understand what they sounded like, what they were. Of course, I've got the definition there of what it is, but I've also included several EVP here that you guys can go down and play. They're just, you just make your own decisions, build your own foundations from those as well. Also, the new events, if you guys want to see the upcoming shows that are coming up, all these are coming up as well. I'm very excited. We got Michael S. Lee coming on here. We're going to be talking ITC Spirit Communication. That's February 7th. Just to remind you, history of EVP next week. Now, with this, these change. I update these on the spot. What I'm really excited about here for you folks is our new forum. You just have to log in and register for our forum. You can do that right there from the main page. That's just to cut down on spam. I don't sell email. I don't have time to sell emails or any of that junk, folks. It's just a forum. But the good thing about this forum, and what I want to tell all you folks from the group, if you're over here from the Facebook EVP Explorations group, or if you have any interest in sharing your evidence, if you have any interest in sharing your MP3 or WAV files, you can now upload those to the forum. Finally found a place to house these, and finally got through the back end enough to get it uploaded as an MP3 for you folks. So you guys are now able to upload and share those in the forum underneath this area right here, EVP upload and analysis. You guys can upload those. Other people can download them and analyze them for you. It's a great way to share. It really is. I mean, get your evidence out there. It's what it's about, is sharing. It's important. It's important. So hopefully you guys enjoy the site and benefit from it. There's blogs, there's just all kinds of guides for you there. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And I know that EVP research is what a lot may consider an old school method, but I tell you what, folks, it's still very effective. It's most effective. You just have to get out there and try it and be persistent, be patient, and you'll be very surprised at what you can gather. Very surprised. Don't get too caught up in all the ITC stuff now. Don't get too caught up in all this. Get back into your roots as well. Communication is key, and learn all facets of it. Learn all facets of it. Don't mix the two either. It doesn't blend right. Now, with the website being out of the way for you folks, one thing I wanted to tell you is this show afterwards now gets turned into a podcast, and you can download that, of course, on all your favorite podcast mediums, Apple and Spotify and all those places. We're even listed on Pandora now. I'm really excited about that. Getting this information out for free to the public is a passion of mine. It's necessary because people are curious. And they may not want to tell their neighbors about it or tell their family about it. They may want to try it with their spouse or something and just try it. Now you can learn how. You can learn how to do it and do it properly and get some effective results from it. It's important. So with the podcast, hey, Rez, how are you, my friend? With the podcast, you can find that on all your podcast mediums. You can also listen to the latest episodes on the website, and of course, watch all the latest on the website. They're all right there for you folks. But make sure that you subscribe there to YouTube as well. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. There's so many different ways to watch and interact. You can even interact, of course, through sacredspiralnetwork.com that you can watch on their website. There's so many ways to reach out. So definitely reach out. And my contact information is all over the website as well. I don't hide it. I don't hide behind any. That's ridiculous. If you have something to say it. If you have something to send it. I mean, I'm analyzing a really long EVP right now. It's a pretty good size audio file, but the gentleman's got it timestamped perfectly, and it's so easy to go through and analyze. And when you get emails like that are thought through, of course you're going to take the time to go through this. This is a very serious matter, and going through a lot of these different things with audio files, it can play tricks on your ears, play tricks on your mind, folks. Just take your breaks. I can't recommend that enough. I had to step away several times today from that audio file just due to the background noise and false positives and things. So that's a real thing. It's an everyday occurrence when it comes to EVP. So be careful, be very careful and mindful of what you're listening to. Now, the Facebook discussion group, of course, the EVP discussion group on Facebook, it's called EVP Explorations Group. Be sure, search it. There's so many great discussions. I put a lot of posts in there to get everybody to think, what if this, because we don't know. Let's face it, folks, we don't know jack. We really don't. We can sit here and guess and theorize and play it all day long, but we don't know jack. We really don't. And this gets these I try to twist them together enough to make them make sense, because a lot of things I say don't make sense, folks. They really don't. I write much better than I seem to speak. But with that being said, there's several great discussions in there. So be sure, sign up for the group. It's another great place to meet some great like-minded people. There's some amazing people in there, some amazing people from this field, a lot of veterans in there, a lot of great people. So be sure and check it out. And those of you just joining us, we're covering the website and everything. You guys can catch the replay and get all that good stuff, or just visit the site there, evpexplorations.com. Now, discussions and things. I mean, tonight's going to be an open discussion night. And I know a lot of you, maybe, it's a Friday, it's the end of the week. I know it's my day off. I know I'm relaxed. I want to have some fun. So I want to have some fun tonight. I want you guys to discuss. I'm going to throw some topics out to you. And I do. I want you to try and discuss these the best you can. We're going to be talking about, of course, the history of EVP. Because we're going to be talking about that next week. So I want to test your knowledge on this, the history of EVP. See if you guys can name some of the EVP pioneers. Some that perhaps were overseas. and perhaps who were associated with those here in the United States. See if you can name any of those people or any information about them. I'd like to discuss that. And I also want to discuss ITC devices versus EVP devices. I'd like to cover that tonight as well, if you guys wouldn't mind. I think it'd be a great topic, great way to start. So you guys put your thinking caps on. We're just going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's get on this. And I'll take your comments. I'll send out the link here in a little while for those of you who want to trickle backstage here. So hang tight. More EVP Explorations on the way.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with EVP Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, EVP Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EVPExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EVPExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
Recording tip: it is a common mistake that you can only capture EVP at night. The reason behind recording at night is the quiet and peaceful ambiance as a background, as the daytime usually contains much louder noise pollution. However, recording during the day is perfectly fine and advantageous to most, as you can gain access to more locations.
Hey, 15 minutes past the hour. Welcome back. EVP Explorations right here. I'm your host, Todd Bates. My goodness, welcome everybody. If you're just joining us, you are watching an EVP-based program. We talk about EVP, ITC, communication in general with those that have passed on. We need machines. That's the thing with it. Those of us that are EV specialists out there, EVP technicians, as they call them now, my hat's off to you for going out in the field and doing this work. It's very difficult. It is a skilled craft, so don't take it lightly. Hello, Mr. Michael Christopher. Hey, he's got a new show coming on Sacred Spiral Network, Spiritually Imperfect. I believe that's going to be on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be coming soon. That's going to be fun times. Welcome, Michael. Great to have you, my friend. And before the break, we were going to sit here and discuss some equipment. ITC equipment versus EVP equipment. We also, I want to test your guys' knowledge. It's important to keep that mind fresh, keep it crisp, keep it clear. Well, let's talk about some ITC equipment first. We'll stick with the basics. I don't know model numbers, folks. I'm not a model number kind of guy. I'm not a super high tech gadget kind of guy. But basically, ITC equipment uses radio sweeps, televisions, things of that nature, even telephones. I've seen them used. So there's different methods. It's instrumental transcommunication is what that is. This would be an ITC device. This is a ghost box. And it's very simple to operate, really. It has a few settings and memory switches and so forth. You simply turn it on. It's rechargeable. It scans radio frequencies. It's a pretty cool device. I use it. I have fun with it. I enjoy it. It was a gift from my Sherry. Of course, I'm going to enjoy it. But this device doesn't necessarily capture a voice. It emits one. Okay, there's differences. Capturing, emitting. Capturing, emitting. Jamie Lynn, how you doing on capturing, emitting? That's what you need to remember to help separate the two, because this does not produce an EVP. It can't. It emits. Okay. This, for example, because I don't have my digital, so I got to get out the 20-pound counterpart, is my cassette recorder. This is an EVP device. EVP device. This captures voices. Okay. So if you capture an EVP, it is either from that cassette recorder or a digital recorder, something that captures, something that records. This doesn't record. It takes an SD card, but it doesn't record. Okay. Technically, on the SD card, it could record a voice. But again, that's that slippery slope because it emitted it first. So it's so confusing, I know. And hopefully people like Tony and Ron can figure out a way to marry these two. So we don't have to go through this anymore. Those guys are the brains of the bunch. I'm just a basic old school EVP guy. I don't know everything about this stuff, folks. I really don't. I've tripped and fallen more than I've been walking in this field. I mean, learn from my mistakes. That's why I openly give them to you. Hi, Christina. How are you doing, hon? I openly give them to you. So you learn from them. It's important that you learn from them. There's a time and a place. And this is the time and the place to learn. So hopefully you guys are here to learn. You're ready to roll. And, you know, you're understanding a little bit of the difference of the equipment and how it doesn't take much in this field to really do it. Now, tonight with Nicole, we were going to talk some basic EVP ethics, protocols. You know, I can sit here until I'm blue in the face and tell you folks to maintain your composure, to watch your mouth. You know, it's not about rules and regulations. They're here for a reason. It's about common sense when it comes to EVP recording. You want no background noise. If you do have it, you definitely want to note it. You definitely want to document it. There's so many false positives. And we can clean this up quite easily if we start to pay attention, if we get back to our patience and remember our patience. It's important to be patient. You must have patience. Carrying around a 20-pound recording dumbbell takes enough patience, but it's the dedication to do it. It's the respect for what it can give in return to me carrying it to its location. You see, you respect those devices. You don't take them for granted. You just don't. Those are your tools. You take care of your tools. And less is more. For the love of everything holy, less is more. All you're going to do is wear yourself out, folks. There's no need. There's no need. I enjoy new equipment and shiny toys just as much as you guys do. And I had them all at one time. I really did. And then I learned over the years just how little I used them. Most of them stayed in the case. Unless I needed them for some kind of special case or something. Rarely. No, it was a rare occurrence that I would use all of the equipment that I brought. So I started bringing less and less. I went from cases and it switched to a backpack. And you'd be surprised what you can fit in a standard size backpack, quite a bit. And still, that's too much sometimes. You know, it's about going there, respecting spirit enough to go there and not disturb them as much as we do with our equipment, with our infrared lights. And this has to be disturbed. I'd be pissed if I was a spirit and somebody came in flashing lights and cameras and crap out. I'd be pissed. I would be upset. I would cease to function at that point. I wouldn't interact with those people. I would go the opposite way. So you bring in something old, bring in something clunky, something they can relate to. You may be surprised at what you can get. So keep that in mind, that less is more. Now, some of the history that we're going to talk about next week, you guys haven't named any names. I know a lot of you folks are just tuning in and trickling in here, and that's okay. Hey, welcome. There's some EVP history. There's this had to start somewhere. Somebody had to discover this. Somebody had to work with this over the years to develop it the way it has developed. Our history is who we are. We shouldn't repeat it. We do. We shouldn't repeat it. We should learn from those pioneers in history. One in particular would be Frederick Jurgensen. My goodness, an amazing pioneer in the field. He discovered this on his reel-to-reel recorder. My goodness, it was his own mother, and he was completely amazed by it, and he became enthralled in the field of research, trying to figure out why, which is one of the main reasons I'm still stuck in the thing. I can't figure out why, folks. And Jurgensen, Raudiva, Konstantin Raudiva was another one. And that man designed, he kind of bridged, I should say, EVP with spiritualism. He bridged that. He diodes and things he would put in there to try and attract. It's an energy thing. He believed it was an energy concept. Like a lot of us do, is this some kind of magnetism? Is it static electricity? There's so much involved with it. It's insane. It'll drive you crazy. And hey, Stanley. And there's Alexander McRae. Absolutely, Stanley. There's so many people in this field that we have forgotten over the years, and we don't get back enough to see. We're too busy trying to move forward. And moving forward is a good thing, but moving forward without remembering what you walked over or walked upon, you never forget where you came from, folks. You can't. You can't. That's like forgetting you were born. You can't do that. You can't just drop it. With this history, and people like Sarah, of course, that popularized it here in the United States. With these great people, the very least, they dedicated their lives to this craft, to this field. The very least we can freaking do is respect what they did and respect their work and not taint it. That's the very least we can do. So we need to do that because that's the least we can do. We need to carry on their messages, carry on their work until we figure this out, until we cross. And we can't figure it out anymore because we don't have to. We need to carry on, carry forward. I mean, there's a lot of laziness, and laziness is just not good in this field. It's just not. If you're lazy, well, leave, please. We need people that are serious, dedicated, that want to learn this craft. EVP is not something you just throw around. It can be dangerous. It can be scary. It can be very, very eerie. And there's other things I communicate with as well. I'm not a regular Ouija board user, but I've been known to communicate on the board. It's a communication tool. Absolutely. I want to learn what's going on the best I can. And if that helps guide me, by goodness, I'll use it. But it's used correctly. It's not abused. Can't do it, folks. Use it. You were born with it. It grew with you. Use the damn thing. Now we're going to skip off here for a second. And when we come back, I'm going to take some questions here and some comments from you guys. I'll put them up here on the screen if you have any. If you don't, well, we'll start wrapping things up. I mean, that's perfectly fine too. I mean, it is a crazy night. Things are nuts. It's been a long week, folks. Hopefully you can understand that. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment. More EVP Explorations on the way.
Brace yourself for the Paranormal Rockdown, July 18th and 19th, 2025 at the Haunted Broadhead Manor. Friday night rock out with Dead Amsterdam, Left on Red, and headliner Green Jelly. The music may not be the only thing shaking these walls. Rumor has it the spirits love a good beat. Will you meet one? Saturday, meet paranormal legends like Dave Schrader, Sam Baltrusis, and more. Enjoy thrilling workshops, tasty treats, and a live Zoom Q&A with Dustin Perry. Dive into the ultimate paranormal investigation with expert guides. Or join a spine-tingling seance with Sam Baltrusis. Tickets are limited. Get yours now for an unforgettable weekend of music, mystery, and chills.
Bottom of the hour here, folks. Welcome back, EVP Explorations. Those of you just joining us, I'm your host, Todd Bates, and we had scheduled guest Nicole Strickland this evening, and she fell ill, so we had to go ahead and reschedule the show with her. She'll be back at a later date, and we just planned an open discussion for tonight. And of course, it's been a long day. Don't have anything planned for you tonight. It was kind of thrown at me there, but it is what it is here, folks. We're making do. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about before we close things out tonight, and if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in there. We'll get them on screen for you. Michael is saying here, he believes intention is everything. A tool is just a tool. Amen, brother. Absolutely. Well said, Michael. So important. And one thing I wanted to cover with you fine folks before if I've done my hair. Oh, yeah, me too, Michael. No, but there's one thing I wanted to cover with you here real quick before we do close this out is closing in general and protecting yourself. I mean, I can't stress this enough. When you go to these locations, some of these locations are wicked haunted, folks. It's not playtime, okay? It's not. You can take these things home with you. You must properly close and open when you go to an area. You can't just willy-nilly run in there. You don't do that crap. You go in there and you open. If you have to, say a silent prayer to yourself and secure yourself. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It's opening your mind and then slamming it shut, basically. You don't want to take these things home with you. They're lurkers. They'll hang out. That's what they do. You don't want it. So make sure they stay there. You tell them to stay there. Tell them they're not welcome to come home with you. Say this out loud. It's not being silly. It's not being ridiculous. It's common sense. Tell them they're not welcome. Tell them to stay there. That is where they belong. Now, sure, there's going to be some that slip through the cracks. That is the nature of the beast. You're going to have that. But you properly close yourself. Okay? You must. And absolutely, Lisa, my goodness, ground and protect always, sometimes several times during an investigation. You cannot do it enough. It's pure energy you're dealing with, I feel. This stuff will kick your ass, folks, okay, if you let it. Don't let it. Don't let it drain you. Don't let it beat you down. Balance with it. Ground yourself. Keep yourself grounded. Keep yourself open-minded and cautious at the same time. It's not hard. And after a while, it comes natural to you, and you just do it automatically. Just be careful. Be safe. Protect yourself. That's first and foremost. Safety is first with all of this. And what I'm going to do, I'm just And it's not anything with you guys whatsoever. My goodness, no. It is simply my workload at the moment and so forth. This extra 30 minutes can actually benefit me like something awful. And I didn't have time to throw anything together for you, and I don't want to sit here and babble. I really don't. I don't want to babble with you. I want to have something prepared for these shows. And what I want you to do in the meantime, though, and I can't stress this enough, and it's not because it was so hard to create and so forth. It's because it can benefit people and it's shareable. Go to the website, evpexplorations.com. Share the guide, read the guide, refresher course, veterans alike. My God, it helped me when I went through the thing. It helped me when I went through it. Oh my goodness. It's like a wake up. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And it's the little things. The members forum, sign up for the site. It's free of charge. I'm not going to charge anything for anything like that, folks. It's just not necessary. Sign up there and get in that forum and interact. I've went ahead and got everything started in there for you. And you can upload your EVP, share them as well. We can analyze them for you too. We'll work together as a team with these files. And that's what it's about. Is I believe we're going to get more when we share, when we get this out. And I don't want to keep all of this stuff that I have in my head. I want it out of there. I want it to benefit others like it benefited me. You know, these are things passed on from great people to me that I'm sharing with you. And it's important. Some of it you may not agree with. That's okay. This field is full of disagreements. That's why I love it. Because not everything is fake out there. There's some real to this paranormal, folks. 2% of it at least is paranormal. It can't be explained. So many things. Be careful what you're looking at. Don't always trust what you see. Second guess yourself a little bit, but go with your gut, damn it. Go with your gut. It's important. It's important out there. Your gut's going to tell you everything. It really is. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close this out for this week, folks. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about the history of EVP as well. We're going to see if we can get some guests here to join us and talk about that, add their 2 cents into the history of EVP. Remember, coming up February 7th, we're going to be talking some ITC spirit communication with Michael Lee. It's going to be an amazing show coming up, so mark your calendars for that. And be sure download the podcast later on all the podcast mediums and all that fun stuff. So from all of us here at EVP Explorations, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules, folks. I know they're busy these days because it's hard to make ends meet. Oh my goodness. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it, folks. Have a great night.